Hello, I would like to talk to you about a game that I would like to create called Heavyhearted Arsonist, where you run around as a fire starter to different homes and start them on fire. But of course, when you start a house on fire, someone's bound to call the fire department, and you're the heavy-hearted arsonist, not a terrible person, so you exchange your fire starter out for a fire extinguisher, and you go to these different houses and you stop the fires. Let's see why a character would want to do something like this. Here, you start the map off as a fire starter, and you go to each and every single individual house and you start them on fire. Depending on the platform that we choose to create this game in, will depend on how a character moves up and down the streets and how they interact with each and every single house, starting a fire and stopping the fires. Since you started 3 houses on fire, your score will increase by 30. And since you've been starting these fires, your timer will slowly decrease, showing that someone called the fire department. But shown here, you're still starting the fire, and the timer has run out, so you'll lose the game. So instead, let's go down to the fire truck, exchange your fire starter out for a fire extinguisher. Here I would just like to label 6 random spots that we're going to create the fire truck to show up in. This will be random, which will increase replayability for every level, and there will not be a dominant strategy for a player to have. And one of the antagonizing forces for a character is of course time, because it takes a little less time to start fires than it is to actually stop a fire. Here, as you can see, a character stopped the fire, and this little cloud shows up, and your score will increase significantly. Each level will have to have a specific score limit met to progress to the next level. These 2 houses were started on fire first, so the roof is now caved in. Let's see what happens if a character cannot get to them in time. Here the character saved the second house, and your score jumped up to 240. But at the end, a character was not able to get to the last house and it burned down to the ground, so your score will deduct automatically. The theme for this game will be a little bit of action mixed in with a little bit of strategy. One of the other games that I can see that was related to this one is called Jones on Fire by Glass Bottom Games. You play a fireman that is in a continuous runner, dodging fires, collecting kittens, and of course, picking up coins along the way. One of the main risks that I see as a Full Sail student would be calculating time. To increase difficulty for the game, we don't want it to be too easy for a character to put out all the fires before they could actually burn down, and of course we don't want each and every single level to be too easy to progress through. And of course a little bit of animation that's mixed in there, because we haven't done too much animation in our Full Sail courses so far, so animating a character moving up and down the lanes, starting houses on fire, and stopping fires. Thank you for listening to my presentation on Heavy-Hearted Arsonist.